Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to Government House this evening. Thank you all very much for coming. I'm delighted to welcome the inaugural cohort of the Virgin Islands Icon Award. So welcome, give yourselves a round of applause all for being here. It's great to see you. Thank you. Not only am I delighted to have you all here, and we'll talk a little bit about what you've been doing over the course of the recent months. But for me, it's also a great pleasure to welcome the magnificent organisers of the Icon Awards as well. I know many people contributed to it, but I'm particularly delighted to see Kareem and Felix here tonight, who I know have been working flat out all this time. Yes, please, round of applause for our two movers and shakers that have really made this magnificent scheme a reality. And it's something which actually came into my life shortly after I arrived here in the Virgin Islands at the end of January, and Kareem reached out very early on to give myself and the Governor's House an opportunity to be associated with what is really a magnificent scheme. And I'm delighted to be able to play a small part in it as you come to the end of your experience. It's wonderful also to have so many faces and spirits and characters here which are just full of energy and aspiration and passion, and just talking to you about what you've been doing in recent months over the earlier part of this evening has been really very inspiring for me, and it's very clear that you've all gained an enormous amount from this experience, and that you will all take from it into your futures really valuable insights, new skills, but also a magnificent network of new friends as well, which I hope stays with you for many, many, many years to come. So that's really, really wonderful to see. When I was sworn in as governor at the end of January, I set out in my swearing-in speech a number of priorities, and making what contribution I could to building a better and more positive future for the Virgin Islands was very much at the top of the list of priorities. And as I look around the House this evening, I see before me a very significant part of the future of the islands. That's obviously you and what you do and what you go on to do in the years ahead. But it's also the contribution that you will make to the islands, not only to make the sectors that you work in stimulating and vibrant sectors, but also the opportunities that your future careers and your future activities will create for other people, for the people that come after you, the people that you yourselves will be able to mentor and train and give insights and inspiration to. So I feel very optimistic standing here, looking out at all of this marvelous talent and this great, great future that's gathered here this evening. I think also it's really important to have in mind that obviously building a better future and building opportunities for people takes time. Takes time, takes commitment, takes a strong personal effort, but it also takes teamwork as well, working together to help shape what will become a better context for everyone on the islands. And again, there's lots and lots of evidence of that fantastic teamwork here this evening. And just hearing your stories from the what was clearly a magnificent night on the 1st of July, I couldn't be there myself, but those of you that were front of house, those of you that were backstage, those of you that were helping with every single dimension of that magnificent night clearly made an enormous contribution in your own right. But most importantly, work together as a team, and what a magnificent team as well. And if nothing else, that's such an important experience and such an important lesson that I know will serve you all very well in the future. So tonight is all about you. It's not about anything that I do or say. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to present certificates to you. But we're here to celebrate your successes and to recognize your achievements, and also to wish you from bottom of my heart with greatest sincerity magnificent futures as well. And we'll be watching what you go on to do, and we'll be enjoying seeing your great steps forward in the future, which will be fantastic for you, will be fantastic for the award scheme and for the cohorts that come after you. And above all, will be fantastic for these beautiful Virgin Islands as well. So it's a great pleasure for me to have you all here this evening. A real honor to meet you all. I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
All right, VTA, help me a little bit. To be early.
To be on time.
Continue.
To be on time is to be late.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Prior preparation, sorry. Very good. Excuses. There we go. All right, there we go. Thank you so much. I hope that these 3 lessons among the many that you have learned in the months that you were with us help you along in your future. You guys did an excellent job and you had a lot of good teachers. April, Kareem, Chaminade, Che, many of the other producers and the volunteers who took their time to teach you. Now you're going to notice that as you go along in life, these lessons that you've learned in these few months in this academy will help you to stand out from the rest. Because that's what we always wanted to do with you. We wanted to help you accomplish or become who you really are and give you the tools you need to stand out from the crowd. You did that on the night of the show. A lot of you took the lead in many of the departments that you were in, and you were able to showcase the very talent that we saw in you from day one. And we're very proud of you. Because of that, we have prepared tonight. We have a few gifts, a few certificates, a little bit of food, just so you can enjoy and really just reap the rewards of everything you've worked for. As I mentioned, the entire production team is immensely proud, and we're so happy that you guys were the first ever class, the inaugural class of the VTA. Give yourselves a round of applause. With that said, we're not going to be here the entire night, so we're going to start off with the presentation of the certificates to everyone in the class. You'll be called by name, you'll come up, you'll take a quick picture with the governor. Chaminade will be the one calling you guys out, so let's get started.
So the Viconic Training Academy offers a comprehensive 6 to 7 month program providing theoretical and practical training across various aspects of production. Participants undergo several short courses covering essential topics before transitioning into working groups, each with designated leaders. These groups follow a structured roadmap to achieve benchmark goals leading up to the grand culmination on the 1st of July 2024, when they debut the Virgin Islands Icon Awards, marking the territory's largest collaborative stage project to date. And tonight, we are very proud to present these certificates to the inaugural cohort of the Virgin Islands Icon Awards Training Academy. So we will begin, and now we'll ask for Miss Abigail Diana McGlure to begin. Abigail Bianca Allensworth, Adrian Gilbert, Alia Mohabir, Amos Pollard, Caden Johnny Philip Foy. Caden's not here with us tonight, so we'll move on to Christian Vanderpool, Damara Therese Neptune, Damara is not here tonight, so we'll move on to Dakari Love Wheatley Adams, Deshaun Malik Jalen Da Silva. Deshaun couldn't be here tonight, so we'll have Desrick Butler, Devon D. Latine Jr., Elaine James, Jade Farina, Jaden Allegra Daly Aspinall. Jay couldn't be here tonight, so we'll move on to Jarisha Jania Jones, who also couldn't be here tonight. So we have Jalea Mari Nibs, Jamaya Marissa Mark, Javon Shamar Braden Smith, Mia Morton, Nakel Danielle Melville. She couldn't join us tonight. So we have Brianna Cheyenne Leah DePisa, Ramik Malik, Jelani Brown, Roshana Butler, Shajela Lorna Hodge, Shakira Patricia Hendrickson. She couldn't join us tonight. Sianda Rihanna Bruce Young, Tanisha Hushman. She couldn't join us, but we'll have Tanisha Ashanti Warner, Tanya Latoya Warner, Tiana Smith, Trista Patrice Short, Victorica Maria Maloney, and Zafaria Shakira Daly. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight, but for all those who weren't here tonight, we still honor and accept their awards, and it will be delivered to them. But ladies and gentlemen, I now ask you to give a big round of applause for the inaugural cohort of the Virgin Islands Icon Awards Training Academy. And now we're so happy to announce that there were 5 young persons a part of the Training Academy who will be awarded tonight for exceptional performance. And we are so happy to present these 5 awards to them on behalf of Saeed Electronics as well as iSmart. They are sponsors of course, the Training Academy. So now I'd like to ask the top 5 persons to join me, well, join the governor at the front and collect these prizes. Drum roll, please. So we'll start with the number 5. And the number 5 person, top person, is Victorica Maloney. The number 4, Tanisha Warner. Number 3, Trista Short. Number 2, Kaden Foy. Unfortunately, Kaden is not here with us. And number 1, Aliyah Mohabir. I'll ask for your round of applause again for now the top 5 performing of the Virgin Islands Icon Awards Training Academy.
Good evening. It is our hope that as this program grows, that we'll be able to give every single participant in the future some kind of token, an electronic gift. I look forward to the day when everyone gets one of those iPads. We want to thank all the companies that sponsored those. They come from Royal Cell, iSmart, and Saeed. We do appreciate that. In addition to Aliyah being the top performer, she also takes home one of the Virgin Islands Icon trophies because she officially becomes the winner of the Volunteer of the Year, because that's what the young people are. They are volunteering as well as learning and adding credits to themselves. They're expanding their resumes as well. And Aliyah, in addition to receiving her iPad, she gets one of those custom-made trophies that's yours to keep like all the other winners on that night. And she also receives a $2,500 cash scholarship to go towards the future of her education as well. Aliyah, congratulations from all of us. I want to say, as she accepts that trophy, to all of you who are here, it was not easy at all picking the top 5. Every single week, you guys had different rankings as you went through. You guys have been all remarkable in all that you've done throughout the 22 weeks. And I don't want you to feel that the top 5 means that you guys are any less. You guys know you've been exceptional in your many very ways. But thank you for making it challenging for us as producers to monitor every week, to interact with you, to get to know what you were learning and how you've been using that out in the public, and for making it challenging for us to choose the top 5 tonight. So you guys all deserve your own round of applause. What you've done. And we expect that not only our top 5 will continue to speak well and be examples of this program, but every single one of you carry the same onus as well tonight. Thank you. So for my closing remarks, Your Excellency, good evening again. I want to start by thanking you not only for your hospitality, having us here tonight. What His Excellency doesn't know is that we were timing the moment his plane was going to land in the Virgin Islands to present this award show to him for his consideration. His predecessor had said, yes, we are going to host the ball for the iconic young people, but that doesn't mean that the next governor has to carry on that mandate. So we hoped that he would have seen the vision, and he certainly did. Your Excellency, you've always been supportive from the very beginning. Your team as well has been excellent in facilitating us being here and getting us to this point. So we wanted to stop before we talk about anyone else, and I'm going to ask all the young people and the producers to give His Excellency and his team a wonderful round of applause for all that you've done. Tonight's audience is small, it's really niche. It's an audience really about the young people. But we were able to invite a few other people here tonight because you represent what our organization is built on. Many of you were the first people to give us any kind of sponsorship and consideration. So we had to pause tonight to ask you to be here with us. And then throughout the crowd, I see some of the judges who literally spend up to 365 days from the time they knew to the time of the show, looking all across the Virgin Islands for those who are eligible to be nominated, and then winding their list sometimes as expansive as 12 people down to only 5. And some of those judges didn't get the memo, so they sent 6, and we had to send it back and say, only 5 can make it to the night of the show. We want to thank you, judges, for all the work you've done to get us to the point of the show on the 1st of July. But I also want to thank the sponsors who've given us the best that they could all the time. There's a group of people here tonight that I want to just call their names. These are the people that in our sponsorship drive, we go to different companies, we make presentations. But there are some people we didn't present anything to. They saw that what we were doing, and they called us and they said, I want to help you guys bring that dream to life. Honestly, they were like, we're not big like all the other companies, but there's something we can do. And you guys proved to us that little is much when God is in it. So we want to thank those sponsors. I want to call you by name tonight. That's Beans Coffee Shop, the BVI Chamber of Commerce, Freeman's Laundromat, Infinity, who's represented by Sandra Ward, and Sandra Ward as well, who gave a sponsorship from herself, Natalie Hodge Pickering, and Sheila George, who is not here with us tonight, and VI Sweet Treats. We want to thank you specifically. I know there are other sponsors who we are not calling tonight, and they've gotten their moment as well. But just because you took the time and you called us and you said, if there's something you need, there's actually one of the sponsors that said to me, even after the show, if there's something you need to tie all your ends up, you can call on me. And I really do appreciate that, because when you have a vision like this, you never know how it's going to land. We started with a simple inspiration, and Your Excellency, I don't know if you know that the inspiration for this show came from the governor's office. I was just calling to find out who were the recipients of OBEs, MBEs, BVI badges of honor, to make a post on the Facebook page bilingual. That's how it started. And while I was on the phone, I was talking to one of your staff members, and she told me about the process and how you chose these awards. And I said, that's really admirable. And she told me it's a very lengthy process and it's very labor intensive to do so. And when I hung up the phone, I had a thought, I'm like, you know what, we can probably do something at the local level to encompass even more people as well. The inspiration started with a phone call to your office, if you've never known that story. And that's how we actually got here tonight. So it's a full circle moment that we end our entire Viconic year here at your residence. I want to thank every single one who has helped us carry this vision. I also want to single out, and hope he'll allow, my friend Gorby Henry. He's here. He's a judge in the system. But Gorby is who I consider what I call the first friend. Whenever I have an idea, he's normally the first friend I tell the idea to. So normally, if he lets it pass, I know it's not a crazy idea. So when I wanted to write the Virgin Islands Dictionary, Gorby was the first one that knew that. And when I wanted to do the award show, he was the first one as well. So if it passes his test and he says, "Hal, you're not crazy," then I know we're probably on the right path. And we worked arduously. All the producers came together to make sure this night, that night on the 1st of July happened. I want to give the producers their moment to stand next to me. Please, producers, come forward. Felix Woolard, and I'll tell you what they do. Felix actually is in charge of the training academy here. Chamonix Simmons is our backstage experience manager. April is responsible for every single booking that we do that gets the show to where it needs to be. We have Saraya over here. She's a young member and she's in charge of our social media team. Che is also here, and Che is actually what we call the master of ceremonies. So he doesn't host the show, but everything that happens on the stage, Che actually writes the show and puts it into place with input from all of the members of the team. So I really want to give you guys your moment and say thank you for one, standing with me on the crazy idea, and for always working hard to bring us to this point. And I want to thank you guys for believing in what we've created, because I think that if there was a moment where I was sick or I couldn't be there, I know I can walk away and leave this entire production in your hands, because you have adopted the idea very much as your own. So I want to thank all the judges who are here. I see Linia, who is actually she was the last judge to join our panel, and she was thrown into the fire, and you did a wonderful job. And to everyone who has supported us. And because he's also here, I want to acknowledge Mr. Ron Grant. He is a winner right over there, one of the first winners of a Virgin Islands Icon Award. So we absolutely thank you for being here as well. As the night goes on, I encourage our young people that this is basically your final exam, that you mix and mingle, meet all of the people in this room that matter, and they all matter, because in some shape or form, they've been waiting on this night and planning diligently to celebrate you in your final moment and to make sure that you make lasting memories. And we always say it in the chat, like after the show, you didn't have to talk to us. You don't have to hail us on the street. You don't have to do that. But you guys have continued to do that, and you've continued to interact with us and allowed us to share in your life. And some of you have called just for personal things, just to get advice. And we appreciate that. And we thank you for allowing us to be a part of your life. And I want to close by just saying to all the parents, thank you for trusting us with your awesome 34 young people. There's so many nefarious things that happen to young people today. So the fact that you trusted us every Sunday and you were very much a part of it, you dropped these young people off, you picked them up, you supported them, you make sure they had the resources. It's a real testament that you believed in what we were doing, and hopefully it meant that when they came home every week, you realized that my young people were growing and they were sharing and they were doing great things because of this experience. And for the rest of our lives, no matter how many other classes come, we start advertising for the next class in a matter of 2 months. And I know you guys are gonna be jealous because we're gonna have new babies, right? But no matter what happens, you guys will always be the first. And 10 years from now, when this show is in your hands and you're running this show, we'll be able to look back and say, we taught them something. But more importantly, versus what we do for you, we are looking forward to what you are going to do for the Virgin Islands. Thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of your evening.